It's the Australia Cup quarterfinals. And after Sydney FC booked their place in the Final Four last night, Melbourne Victory can set up a semi-final Big Blue. Standing in their way, though, are the NPL New South Wales Premiership leaders, APIA Leichhardt, who tonight aim to eliminate Melbourne Victory for the second time in Australia Cup history. Good evening. Welcome to Leichhardt Oval. We're here on Wongal and Gadigal country in Sydney. APIA Leichhardt hosting Melbourne Victory. And it does have a familiar feel about it this evening at Leichhardt Oval. 8 years ago, almost to the day, APIA Leichhardt produced one of the great Australia Cup upsets. They knocked out the reigning A-League champions Melbourne Victory 3-2 right on this very pitch. That was the 21st of August 2018 after a Sakia double and Nathan Milgate's winner. Tonight, the man who delivered the free kick for that winning goal is APIA's coach. Franco Parisi helped engineer that cup set as a player. Tonight he'll try to achieve that from the technical area, but this Melbourne Victory side coming up against APIA tonight. They are determined not to let history repeat. Under their new Venezuelan boss, Gio Savarese, they sense the opportunity to begin this new era with silverware. When you look back and you compare 2018 to 2026 for Melbourne Victory, there's more than a few differences. One of which is this is the beginning of a new era under Savarese. That was the waning of the wonderful years under Kevin Muscat. They won that championship in 2018, the last throes of what was such a successful period for the former Victory boss, who is now over in China. So you just sense this Victory side under Savarese, they are re-energized. He's been in the country for a little over a month, and he has been stamping his authority all over this side. He was an onlooker in Tasmania. He was with the side when they took on Kingborough. He was in the technical area when they beat Western Sydney Wanderers on penalty. He was really proud of the way they stuck it out in a really tight match of football. Jack Duncan, the hero in the penalty shootout. Oliver Klatz, the hero for APIA Leichhardt in extra time, and then in a shootout to send them through last week against Sydney United. Incredible that on the 21st of August 2018 they last met. It's the 19th of August 2026, almost 8 years on, and there's only Sean Simmons remaining from that famous APIA side who won. Franco Parisi, the coach, also started. There was a Japanese hero in 2018. Sakia scored a double. Kambayashi's wonder goal helped APIA eliminate Sydney United in the round of 16. He starts on the right. Ortiz and Conestabo, they are sick, so they drop to the bench. Segreto and Delhi come into the 11.
We'd like you to join them in welcoming the match officials, along with the captains from both teams.
And for Melbourne Victory, no changes from the 11 who beat Western Sydney on penalties and also got the job done in the Apple Isle. So Tom Lockyer returns to the bench after overcoming tightness. Former Luton Town captain. It's a welcome return. And Nishan Volupale departed for Germany on Monday, so he is not in the matchday squad, quite obviously, and Denny Genreau is here tonight at Leichhardt Oval, but not in the squad. NPL New South Wales referee Tom Dale in charge of this one. The Football Australia boss John Moss very proud of these young referees taking charge of the quarterfinals. And here is a young coach in Franco Parisi, APIA Leichhardt legend. Played in 2018 against Victory. His assistant as well, David DePuzzo, also played in that match. There's a number of thread lines running through, but they have been through a hectic schedule, the leaders of the NPL New South Wales. They lead the competition by 4 points. They play Sydney United on the weekend. If they win that, if they draw that, they will seal the premiership. And Gio Savarese has a lot of respect for them. He said this side, they're in first place in their division. We have massive respect for them. And no doubt he senses the opportunity now, with only Sydney FC as the A-League teams remaining in this competition. Jason Davidson, the captain, with final words of encouragement for his Melbourne Victory side. So we're ready to go here at Leichhardt Oval for the second quarterfinal. 2 this week, 2 next week. Those 2 next week, all NPL affairs. And we have got NPL versus A-League opposition. And for the second time in Australia Cup history, it's APIA Leichhardt against Melbourne Victory. And Daniel McBreen, what a clash this shapes as. The question is, can the NPL side knock out the 2-time Cup winners once again?
Well, good evening, Benny, and all our viewers as well. It's a very good question. At a casual glance, you would say that Melbourne Victory, they should be comfortable winners, but when you have a look at the Australia Cup this season, it has been anything but the norm. Only 2 remain.
Here's Delhi with an early opportunity.
And what we've seen from the NPL teams this year, we've seen not only strong physical, but some great football played as well. We saw SD Raiders last night push Sydney FC all the way as well. We've seen 5 cup sets now from NPL teams knocking A-League teams out. So this is anything but a foregone conclusion. We heard Franco Parisi speaking before the game, saying that he knows that Melbourne Victory have got a little bit more pre-season under their belt now, which will obviously be in their favour, but by no means are they afraid.
And that's what he did mention pre-game in regards to Melbourne Victory being a little bit further into pre-season, and it just gets harder and harder as you continue to move on. And as you were saying, the cup sets this time around. So we're up to 6 now after SD Raiders win over MacArthur. Just having a look, 2025, there was 5. So yeah, this is a new high watermark in the 2026 edition. And you just sense as well, with the Australia Cup kicking off a little bit earlier, just giving that opportunity to those NPL clubs who are right in the thick of their season to try and catch the A-League clubs on the hop. Melbourne Victory haven't been caught out though yet. They had Western Sydney Wanderers in the last match, and that was a really physical, tight affair. You almost felt sorry for both of those clubs leading into it, because of course Western Sydney played so well against Chelsea, and you felt like they're in really good shape early doors. They've got all their squad together early on in the pre-season. Melbourne Victory fairly similar in that respect. It was almost unfair that one of them was to go out, but that's the way the draw pans out sometimes. And Melbourne Victory, no doubt, will be advantaged by the fact that they've had a really solid hit out over 2 hours against Western Sydney. Jason Davidson partnering the German, big tall German Philipp Zierreis at the back, who was signed from Greuther Fürth in Germany. Also played in Europa League and Conference League when he was playing in Austria. Here he is, Scored on debut for victory.
And big raps coming out of the Melbourne Victory staff as well. He's a towering figure at the back, isn't he? You talk about Melbourne Victory and their squad and bringing players in early. There's one big name that we still haven't heard about.
One big name, were you saying?
One big name, exactly right. Matter, will he go around again? I'm sure Melbourne Victory fans would love to see him pull on the shirt again for another season. Still no answer on that.
It's Jurassic. And Grimaldi's just caught offside. Well, speaking of that backline, that was one aspect that Franco Parisi mentioned, this Victory defensive unit, of course. Jack Duncan in goal, then Will Marshall. Andrew Durante taking the start of pre-season with Gio Savarese finishing up his media commitments on the World Cup. And we know Durante, one of the great defenders in A-League history, one of the greatest defenders, up there with the likes of Top or Stanley, and his longevity as well. And we've heard that he's been doing an outstanding job with them. Just the one goal conceded in those two matches, and it was a pretty good one. Free kick from Milanovic. So Parisi, head coach of APIA, and Durante, assistant of Victory, know each other pretty well too. Macca, as this cross comes in, Lino deals with it. Parisi was part of Durante's bridal party back in the day, so a lot of connection between these two sides and a lot of respect.
Well, it's a small world, isn't it, the football world?
I think he was saying they lived together, or they lived close together when they were both playing at Newcastle.
I think they were in the same apartment block, yeah.
Yeah. Came up through the ranks at Sydney Olympic together.
I'm sure that was a quiet apartment block.
Davidson. And Stewart. Hasn't he been excellent for APIA this season, but also in the Cup. Simmons. Find some space for APIA to work with. Earns the applause of the home fans here at Leichhardt Oval. Of course, APIA usually play their home games at Lambert Park on the synthetic. Victory coach Gio Savarese was at pains to mention that they are very adaptable. The fact that they can go across from the synthetic to the turf here at Leichhardt Oval. Grimaldi just rode the first challenge there of Simmons, looking to deliver to Lino, and Stewart with an important interception. Stewart towards Segreto. Look to play the 1-2. And Monge, the ex-Victory man, won't be able to continue the attack. It's a silky turn, isn't it, from Jurassic. Franco Parisi called him the best player in the A-League. And he said it with such conviction. Didn't have any doubt about it. Grimaldi. Little flick on to Grimaldi. Nutmeg on Kambayashi. And this will be just the goal kick. Kalaks with the applause.
I'm not sure about best player in the A-League for Keegan Jurassic. Maybe potential. He certainly looks sharp at the moment, doesn't he, on the ball? He player that has been talked about for a number of years now with the potential to really reach the heights. Maybe stagnated a little, but has definitely got the qualities. They just need a coach and a team to really bring that out in him.
Well, that was how I recall Franco explaining it. And when you think of all his attributes, physicalities, speed, you can understand why he's gone down that path. But obviously, football is a game of opinions, Macca. That's what makes it so interesting. Delhi. This is Kishimoto and Fong. Fong scored on the weekend. Presley Ortiz with a double on the weekend. He's not in the starting side tonight. A real blow for... Oh, jeepers, that ball's almost taken out the victory monitor there on the sideline. Might need a new bit of hardware there. It looks to be still operating. Could have been a disaster. What are you laughing at, Macca?
Just enjoying the football game.
Classic. Utilises the overlap of Sarah. Valadon. This is neat from Victory in a tight area, but Eddie Caspers is there in the nick of time and so calm on the ball. Caspers able to find that pass to Monge. As I mentioned, was at Victory between 23 and 25. 36 matches across all competitions. Be free kick in somewhat of a dangerous spot here for the visitors.
Well, there was an opportunity to go forward from APIA. It was Jack Stewart who drifts from that wide area in central. They chose to go backwards, which put them under pressure, and then they end up turning over the ball, and the foul is now given a free kick away when they could have potentially been heading down the other end. And these are the key moments that can shape a game.
Zurice, one of the targets, and he is the man to get the touch, the German. And look for the quick release through Jack Stewart. Another outstanding midweek crowd in here at Leichhardt Oval. Packed grandstand in front of us. Crowd still filtering in on a Wednesday night. Many of the fans hoping for a repeat of what happened in 2018 as Segreto putting the pressure on Duncan. Interesting story, Macca. Jordan Segreto has this season. He actually signed for Tulsa in the US second tier. Probably about a month into the NPL New South Wales season. They gave him 24 hours to let them know whether he would sign. So he said, yep. And then he backflipped. And then they wouldn't let him play for the next 4 months. So he's only just been able to, or I think it was about round 19, round 20, that he was then allowed to play again. It was a costly one for him, but he's been impressive over the last couple of seasons. Franco Parisi saying that it's just been a bit of bad luck with injuries, and of course, that potential move to the US, which didn't pan out for him.
Moral of the story is no backflips. Is that right?
Well, I think it was his decision. That's what my understanding is. He just decided that it was probably a sideways move more than a move in the positive direction. He thought, I'll stay at APIA. The problem was they weren't too happy about that. I think the window then shut, and because they were annoyed, they then wouldn't release him, wouldn't clear him to play then for APIA as the assistant referee's flag goes up for offside.
Well, it was a close one there. I thought the timing of the run, Michael Kuta looked to be spot on at first glance. It was a pretty high line for Melbourne Victory.
Duncan looking for the one up top in Nduka. Victory said they're happy with the strikers they've got this season. They'll more so be looking for a number 10 if Juan Mata doesn't remain at the club. Nice intervention there from Caspers. But as Macca said before, there's still no word on that, so there's no word whether he definitely will be back or he's definitely going, but he's got a stake in the club, so he'll still be involved at a higher level, regardless of what happens.
We might also be just looking at that long pre-season and thinking, I'll give you an answer with 5 weeks out, guys. Get a short pre-season in. Might be the cynic in me.
What are you saying? He doesn't want to play in the Australia Cup, Macca? He's enjoying his European summer, is he?
It's a warm summer over there.
It is warm and
He's
dry.
not getting any younger either.
No.
You know, that pre-seasons, they get a little bit harder each year.
Well, after seeing those images of Hyde Park recently, I reckon I'd prefer an Australian winter. So, very even start to this match. Both sides just in the process of feeling their way into this one. We saw that the victory against Western Sydney Wanderers. That one finished 0-0 at the end of the 90 minutes. Sawyer opened the scoring in extra time before Milanovic found the equaliser. While for APIA Leichhardt, similar score before penalties of 1-1, but Kambayashi with the goal in the first half cancelled out in the second. So in Serra, Jelassic, now Valadon. Lino. Santos. Nice touch back from Valadon to Jelassic. Now Grimaldi and Nduka. Nduka just couldn't quite evade the APIA defenders who are coming from all directions. It was nicely worked through midfield there from Melbourne Victory, especially Valadon. It was some silky touches from him.
Yeah, it was nice play. Quickly closed down, and it was actually Jack Stewart who got back to help in the defending. Got the vital touch to snuff out the chance.
Davidson. Jelassic has just manoeuvred his way over this side of the ground. Keegan Jelassic. And it may have come off Simmons there, and Kambayashi was probably looking for the sideline. Instead, it's a corner kick here for Victory.
Well, he's looking sharp, isn't he, Keegan Jelassic? Little 1-2s with teammates, very sharp on the ball. be looking to really impose himself this season and live up to that hype that has been around him. You see here looking to use his runners as decoys and cut inside.
So the corner in towards Santos. Sagreto with the clearance away. Dorigo, Tolino. Dorigo was most impressive against Western Sydney. Did so much grunt work in midfield. Lino allowed to push into some space. Jelassic and Valadon. And Dorigo. Melbourne Victory just starting to control the tempo of this match now. Lino versus Fong. Fong gets the final touch. I was doing my research into cup sets that have involved the same two clubs. Oakley Cannons against Sydney FC. I've beaten them twice, 22 and 24. There were no other cup sets involving the same two teams that I could find on my little odyssey. All the past results and the previous. There's a little bit of skill that impresses the crowd here at APIA. This is Simmons, and a little slip, which isn't going to help him. Heidelberg, of course, have been the most outstanding club. They've beaten Perth, the Mariners, Western Sydney, Wellington and Auckland, but no one twice.
Use that little bit of skill.
Nice nutmeg.
Actually, just they haven't had much by way of possession up here. It's predominantly Melbourne Victory.
Jelassic again probing and continuing to ask the Leichhardt players a number of questions. It's probably Santos on the other side who was most damaging to start the game against Western Sydney, but tonight he's been a little more quiet, and that's been Jelassic picking up the slack. Here he is, the Brazilian, goes for goal. Didn't get off the tarmac though. It's blocked away by Fong. Cross in towards Santos, back towards the 6-yard box, and Grimaldi very nearly entered his orbit. Harper able to clear it away to safety.
Well, there's plenty of talk about A-League clubs being in their pre-season, but this is 71%. possession from Melbourne Victory, and it takes its toll. There's been plenty of games for APIA, and some big ones at that as well, into the back end of their season. Title on the line this weekend. A lot of emotion midweek last week at their win over Sydney United. And now doing a lot of chasing of the football. And just think as the game goes on, you might see more and more of those kind of spaces just starting to open up a little bit. Good defending, covering there, plenty of numbers back. I don't think they want to be giving 70+ percentage of possession away for the full match.
And that was the challenge that Franco Parisi stressed before the match, was that the hardest thing is they've had midweek matches and matches on the weekend the last few weeks without a real break. So it's been full on, especially when all of these players have a day job as well away from football. And when you're at the top, everyone's coming for you, and of course that's where they sit in the NPL New South Wales. Everyone's trying to knock them off, and there's a lot of emotion that goes into that week in, week out. So they're going to have earned exactly what they achieved this season. And then they've got the Australian Championship as well, just in case they didn't need any more football. It's tough for these players, my goodness. There's so much.
Well, it's not like tomorrow morning they're going in for a recovery session. See
No.
the physios and the masseuses, they're back to work. It's a tough old trek for these guys.
Maybe get a swim in at the beach, that's about it, if they're lucky. And APIA have managed to keep Victory at bay. So just to finish off that point, so 28 cup sets, only Oakley beaten the same A-League side twice, and that's the history that awaits APIA tonight if they can win this one. Having beaten Victory back in 2018. And a little push in the back spotted there. Referee saying that Induka committed the foul. That man, Simmons, captain back in 2018. Sakia a double. Then Kenny Few scored a double to get it back to 2-2 before Millgate scored the winner. And the flag comes up now against Segreto. They're not without their half openings, APIA. How clinical can they be, though, when they get those opportunities? That was the question for SD Raiders as well last night. They had their chances too, but Hoofslap with some really good saves to deny them and ensure a 1-0 win for the Sky Blues. So they play the winner of this one. Will it be a big blue? Will it be a derby in the Harbour City? It should be here at Leichhardt Oval, most likely, as Simmons skims off the head of Lino. Sits for Fong. Couldn't beat Lino at the first attempt. Caspers. That time misplaced. A rare mistake from the 22-year-old Caspers, who was in the sights of the Jets before they signed Zane Schreiber, and I reckon will be in the sights of a few more A-League clubs after his performances this season. Kalatz. His best release there.
He just rather rushed that one, didn't he? You'd have to think, Benny, with the performances of some of these NPL teams this season, this Australia Cup as well, that there'd be a number of players in the eyes of A-League coaches. Some great performances, not only as teams, but individuals as well.
Caspers. There he is. Got up the low socks as well, Macca. Bit of Max Burgess in that. Davidson in the direction of Santos, but Fong was just too sharp. Tries to poke it over the top towards Segreto. They will come back for a free kick after the late contact there from Santos on Fong. As I mentioned before, Fong a goal scorer on the weekend in their win over SD Raiders, 3-1 winners. And they play Sydney United 58 this weekend for the title in the race for the premiership, and then they'll go at it again in the finals. They'll both be hoping they're there on grand final day. They've played in some big matches this year. The Cup, round of 16, the Waratah Cup as well. Here's Jack Stewart finding some width on offer here. Santos diving in. Now, who got the last touch? Referee says it will be a corner. So Santos with the final touch. An opportunity knocks here for the home side.
Well, it was neat play. We've seen it before from Santos. The speed he has. He just covered that ground so quickly.
See what APIA like. They're certainly taking their time here. They don't want to be rushing what's been a really busy schedule. Now the referee wants to have a conversation. Who's in there? Simmons throwing his weight around. In Serra as well as Nduka. So it's Kambayashi with the corner. It's Nduka who got the initial head to it and then cleared it away. Kambayashi. Keep that inside the line. Touch up and over the top from Grimaldi. Ooh, and Kishimoto just copped a little boot here. Just clutching at the shin there as Grimaldi was off down the left. And he's getting a warning from Tom Dale. So a sneaky one here.
Well, it was good hold-up play there from Nduka in the first, and Grimaldi had a nice touch. Have a look here. Kishimoto gets back quickly. Cops a knock for his troubles. And I have to say, for all of the possession for Melbourne Victory, we still haven't really seen them open up this APIA Leichhardt defence.
Well, both sides have struggled, haven't they, to really open up. They've been well drilled defensively. And you feel like that could be a story of the night. Does that mean could be one of those nights? I tell you what, the Australia Cup, we've been Going to extra time quite a bit. We saw that in the round of 16. 5 out of the 8 round of 16 matches went into extra time. Quarterfinal number 1 last night, getting done and dusted in the 90 minutes. Ice. And Jelassic, and they're away here, Melbourne Victory. Matt Grimaldi. The strike from distance is flashing across the face. That was not a bad try from Dorigo. Player who isn't known for his goal scoring ability.
Well, that was nice play from Melbourne Victory. From the back, straight up. It was Jelassic that spun and made the run on the outside, or played the ball through, sorry. And that was a moment there I thought maybe the ball could have gone in early. There was 3 Melbourne Victory players. I think it was Keegan Jelassic who had got in front of his defender, maybe whipped that ball across for the attackers to run onto. Instead, decided to go back, and Dorigo lets fly from distance. Yet to have a shot on target, either team tonight.
2 goals in the A-League last season for Dorigo, which almost doubled his career tally. Only 5 in 115 matches.
From memory, one of them was a last-minute winner, wasn't it, from outside the box?
It's good memory. Is it?
I think so.
We know he can hit. We know he can hit them with Dorigo, but it was his defensive work that was most notable in that shootout win over Western Sydney. Fong. Oh, nice. Hit a couple. Still going, Fong. Well, APIA are maybe politely inquiring why advantage wasn't played there. They thought they were off down the right. This is Casper, swings it out here to Stewart. Nice delivery. Slips all the way through to Duncan. There's a late run coming there from Monge. But Duncan was awake to any kind of danger, and Valadon finds Dorigo. Well, Macca, it's been a first half of very few chances, but it's ticked along at quite the pace.
It's not without a want of trying. Victory have moved the ball around. Jelassic has looked quite sharp on the ball. Sydney and Sarah look to get forward. My understanding, maybe just not quite there yet, that pre-season rustiness. But also good defensive structure from APIA Leichhardt. Just when you think Melbourne Victory maybe are about to fashion something, pops an APIA Leichhardt player to snuff it out. Top of the NPL New South Wales. Not a reason.
Lino, and now Santos. Finds Nduka. Chance to shoot for Charles Nduka. Always rising up and over the bar, but just took a nick on the way through. So corner here for Victory, and he's just got a little bit of a limp here.
Maybe just a bit of a knock. It's a cool night out there.
Victory aren't wasting a moment with the restart. And again, it's Dorigo. Shaped up for a moment. Davidson places the cross into an area. It's dealt with by APIA. Dorigo. Siras. Oh, nice back heel from Nduka. Jelassic with the cheeky chip. And it nestles on top of the net.
Well, again, Charles Nduka, his hold-up play, using his strength to pin the defender, bring his teammates into play.
Simmons does reward the run of Kuta. And he's in a little bit of a shoulder-to-shoulder battle there with Grimaldi. It's a little willing contest, and for a moment it looked as though Kuta may have won that. I should say Josh and Sarah it was he came up against there. Very nearly got the better of him. Stewart. Nice shift. Here is Segreto. Lays it off. Pressure here for Victory as it pinballs around on the edge of the box. Stewart with the low delivery. Spills now for Delhi. Got to be careful here, Victory. Bayashi. Melbourne Victory have got a lot of numbers back behind the ball. They've got everyone back behind the ball now. Maybe you just feel like the chance had evaporated. Bayashi still going. Casper's with some space here. And Dookie came from behind. Here's a free kick on the edge of the area. And there was a neat passage there from APIA Leichhardt.
Well, it was intelligent play from Casper's. Just felt Nduka encroaching on his left shoulder and just stepped across. Draw the foul. See here, takes his touch, sees him coming, puts his body across and draws the foul. It's in a dangerous area. This is far away from where Bayashi smacked one in last week. That was from open play. But it came off the back, as you said, Benny, of a really nice piece of play. They had a really good opportunity. Greto just couldn't drag the ball with his left foot into space. Worked a wonderful opportunity. Now they have, just minutes before half-time, a chance to test Jack Duncan.
Well, Kuta, the left-footed option, Segreto with the right. What a story it would be if Segreto could come up with a goal. Late inclusion with Ortiz, their leading goal scorer, having to drop back to the bench after suffering a bout of flu. Missed 4 months of the season after that botched signing with Tulsa in the US. Could all these problems wash away here, or a season full of setbacks with a special moment? It is Segreto, and it's very close to the bottom corner. Duncan was interested. Not a bad try.
Yeah, Jack Duncan on the move. Got it up and down well, didn't he?
Now here's a problem for Caspers. Back to his feet now. Still feeling the effects. Finishing with some good pressure here, APIA Leichhardt. Still is down here, Caspers. And thinks he might get some treatment there from the staff, but maybe the physio's just been told to sit down for the moment. I don't reckon we've got too much stoppage time at all in this first half. We're lucky if we get a minute. Stewart, over in. There's been a lot of ball in play, so just the 1 minute in this first half.
1 minute time added on. A minimum of 1 minute.
Stick around, halftime show coming up next. It'll be fascinating to get the thoughts of the panel on this first half. Both sides have cancelled each other out, but maybe there's a sting in the tail here. The ex-victory man in Monge with a delivery across. Oh, Derry goes down. Referee says nothing doing. Segreto with a scuffed cross. And I tell you what, oh, here we go. Victory are unhappy here. I think Tarigo's come across, basically saying to Delhi, don't take a dive. That's my reading of it. Well, well, well.
Well, we heard what the crowd thought of it. They were up asking for a foul. It all came from the first run there, in behind. It just went behind, and you see, well, no, I think the referee's got that right. Actually comes into the back of Jordi Valadon, doesn't he? Trying to gain the foul.
Now, a yellow card has just been issued to a member of the APIA Leichhardt coaching staff. I believe it was their assistant coach down there, David DePuzzo. We'll get that confirmed at half-time. And there's a bit of frustration from the APIA coaching staff. They're going to have a conversation with the fourth official, Sam Kelly. And APIA Leichhardt, they really finished that first half the stronger, posed a lot of questions there for victory. Earned a free kick in close range. And it's intriguingly poised as they head towards the sheds at half-time. APIA Leichhardt 0, Melbourne victory 0.
What are you doing?
We're planking.
It's because of our internet providers.
We're stuck in 2011.
Same slow internet speeds.
And high prices.
It's like a nightmare.
Enough planking. Superloop is a network purpose-built for the super-fast future of the internet. You are free.
Don't take it lying down, Australia. Refresh your internet.
Welcome back to Leichhardt Oval. This is the quarterfinals of the Australia Cup. Last night it was Sydney FC who booked their safe passage through to the semi-finals, who will play the Sky Blues in the battle for the final, it would be, in the semi-finals of this competition. The winner of this takes on Sydney FC, and at the moment at Leichhardt Oval it is locked at 0-0. Both sides have had half chances, Daniel McBreen, but it was APIA who finished the first half the stronger.
Well, I think you might even be being generous saying there were half chances. There wasn't much made in that first half. Plenty of probing, particularly from Melbourne Victory for the most part. But you're right, APIA Leichhardt finished with a bit of a flurry in the last few minutes. Looked to open up that Melbourne Victory defence, but it's proved to be quite difficult for either team to fashion anything of real chance in that first 45.
Well, we'll find out with a Melbourne Victory. Watch that pump up from Eric Partaloo. I wonder if anyone took the iPads in there and showed it to them. No doubt the blood would be boiling and they'd be ready to go. We'll soon find out how they begin this second half. So underway, second 45 minutes at Leichhardt Oval. Will it be the final 45 minutes of this match? We went the distance in the round of 16 for both of these two clubs. Both won on penalties, 3-2. Victory against Western Sydney, APIA Leichhardt against Sydney United 58. So the way the first half shaped up, it would seem it's going to take a moment of magic to unlock either of these two defences. Hopefully, it's not a slip-up. And you wonder, Macca, did mention in the first half, so Franco Parisi forced into those two changes with Connor Starbo and Ortiz benched because they have the flu. Actually overheard one of them saying it felt like he was swallowing rocks when he woke up the other day, so they're not well. They are on the bench though, so you wonder when Franco Parisi may use them, because we know Ortiz, he scored a double on the weekend. He's got 19 goals for the season. Connor Starbo was excellent last week against Sydney United, but the way Franco Parisi was talking to me pre-game, he said, we will we'll only use them if required, and it'll be late on in the match.
Well, and that's the big question, isn't it, with potential extra time. If you stick them on in the 70th minute, we're thinking we've got 20 minutes to go. Well, all of a sudden, have they got the energy to do that extra 30 minutes of extra time? So it's a lot of questions for the head coach, getting the timing right.
And if I was on the bench, I wouldn't be sitting near him.
Well, you were saying to me off air that Sydney United had a run of sickness last week, and maybe they could have got it off them.
Well, yeah, Miro Vlastelica said last week Sydney United, before the APIA game, they had the flu go through the camp. And then Franco Parisi said this, so we had the flu go through our camp this week. So you put 2 and 2 together. The answer's a pineapple, maybe. Who knows? Here's Grimaldi. He's a little frustrated here because the free kick's going the other way. So you can just sense a little bit of simmering tension here. Speaking of tension, APIA also have Farinella on the bench tonight, who was red carded last week. Everyone's probably wondering what? Well, the red card was served in the NPL. So if it was a yellow card accumulation in the NPL, he wouldn't serve that in the cup, if that makes sense. So it can be a little bit hard to follow at times. There he is. No doubt he'll be keen to make up for last week. His teammates got him out of it with that penalty shootout win. Ooh, and here comes Santos together with Kishimoto.
Certainly no holding back on those challenges, was there?
No, he's come out fired up. What do you make of Melbourne victory, Macca? Early days under their new Venezuelan head coach, and what we're expecting to see from them from a stylistic perspective
Well,
this
it's
season.
clear to see that possession, as we can see it, is high on his agenda. Keep that ball. They are moving when they win free kicks. I'll just let this go here.
Stills now for Insera. It was defended initially by Delhi.
They are, when they win free kicks and the like, they do try to get the ball down quickly and get the ball back into play. There's no letting around or killing of time. It's let's get the ball moving quickly. I'm sure as he has more time with the team. Only been here around about a month. He was in charge for the Western Sydney game, but the match before that, it's Kingsborough, was in the country, but Andrew Durante took the team, so there'll be time for him to bed it in another couple of months before the season starts. I'm sure we'll see that cohesion, that understanding of what he wants start to play out as the season moves on.
Kuta, Bayashi, Jelassic. Oh, he somehow managed to pass through as Delhi and Kambayashi converged on him. Neat link up this, and Duka drives towards goal. That would have been some build-up for victory. They finished off that little raid. Now it's Segreto at the other end in a duel with Zirais. And what we've seen early doors of the German centre-back, he is very strong and pretty smart as well as he earns a goal kick.
Yeah. Working well with Davidson early here, covering each other. Andy Harper said at half-time, we just need to see a little bit of a spark. We saw a little bit there. Santos coming in off the wing. Duka running off him. A bit of collaboration in that central area.
He's done well to keep his feet there. Stewart drives it at the near post, and it comes back with some interest. Now it's Delhi. Delhi, and blocked away by Victory. Well, that's as close as we've come to the opening goal here tonight at Leichhardt.
Well, we have our first shots on target. That was Stewart on the angle, backing himself just to go with power high, but Jack Duncan stood his ground. It was a good barnstorming run down the right-hand side. For a brief moment, I think everyone thought he was going to go down there. Weighed up the situation. Jack Duncan stood tall. And then the follow-up, Delhi. Too many bodies.
Now Simmons with the flick on. And Kuta versus Dorigo. Does fashion a cross in. Well, APIA Leichhardt came for victory at the end of the first half, and they've started the second half with a renewed sense of vigour here. Caspers, and the crowd is spurring them on. It's a tight match. There could only be a solitary goal in it. Who can get that valuable, that vital first one? Stewart again. Facing some problems for Lino. Ooh, dink over the top towards Kambayashi. Caspers gets up. Wins it in the air. Now it's Delhi. Referee says free kick APIA.
Well, they just seem to be winning everything at the moment, don't they, APIA? The knockdowns, they're getting their body in front, they're moving the ball now. 50-50 challenges just seem to be falling their way. Just a little bit more urgency in the APIA ranks.
So Kuta and Segreta, the two men to stand over this free kick again. Over down the other end it was Segreta. It was to the left of goal as well. Maybe more in line with the left post. This one just a little further wide. So it's Kuta who takes, floats back post, oh brilliant! The flag comes up to deny what would have been an incredible APIA Leichhardt goal. It was so well worked. And it was the veteran at the back stick who played in the last cup set in this fixture. And now Victory all of a sudden realise that they need to put the foot to the floor. In Sarah's cross towards Nduka, and they spurred a chance through Grimaldi at the back post. Well, we've had more action in the last 10 minutes of this one than we had in the first 45.
Oh, that's a glorious chance for Grimaldi there. 5 yards out. Let's have a look at the other end. Let's just have a look at the runs. Maybe just leaning a little too early. It was a delightful ball, wasn't it? And how calm was the finish, just to roll it in the bottom corner. Maybe that'll spark both teams into a bit of action. We saw Victory go straight down the other end and create an opportunity.
Well, what a story that would have been. The 33-year-old, the only man that's in this side here tonight, that was part of that cup set in 2018 when APIA beat Victory 3-2. He captained them that night. He's the captain again here tonight. And the man who assisted the match-winning goal that night, Parisi, the coach of APIA, watching on. And it's really sparked Victory to life as well.
Well, they need to, don't they? They've been, as we said, full of possession. With no real punch.
And Caspers steals in, pinches the ball. Can they move it quickly here, APIA? Again, looking the more enterprising of these two sides to begin the second half. Kuta. Kambayashi. And it's Zirais. Just calms things down for Melbourne Victory, but then he's gifted it back to APIA. Kambayashi. Caspers, space to work in, and doesn't connect with Segreto.
Well, he's missed the pass there, but I've been really impressed with Eddie Caspers. He's not afraid to get the ball in tight areas, turn his way out of trouble, always looking to play forward.
Just over half an hour of regulation time remaining in this one. APIA Leichhardt having a great spell of it. But now it's Victory. Jelassic, ball out in front of Kalats, who came and did the punching. Lino. There's some numbers there in the box, and APIA get them there, but there's a chance here for the cross in. Spills away in the direction of Insera, keeps it inside, but only to the advantage of APIA, but they've won it back now. Jelassic, another floater. This has too much weight on it for Santos.
They're just not on the same wavelength, were they? Santos flat-footed, Jelassic looking for the ball in behind. And it was an immediate frustrated look from Jelassic. Hands on the hips.
Well, they honoured that cohort of 2018 who caused the mega upset in the half-time here at Leichhardt Oval. Are they about to get another famous team to join them? And of course the one that beat Western Sydney in 2021. They'll have to thwart this attack. Here is victory once again. Asking the question with Santos. Spills out for Grimaldi. Grimaldi fashions a strike. But not the power to beat Kalatz. Santos is getting himself more into the game in this second half. Look at the victory bench. They've got Harry Sawyer on there. They've got Tom Lockyer as well, who missed a round of 16 match with a bit of neck soreness. Former Luton Town captain, played in the Premier League. He's a good option there on the bench. An experienced option. They've got Koscielny as well and a few youngsters. Shillington as well, ex-Melbourne City. APIA Leichhardt, we mentioned that before. They've got the likes of Connor Starbo, Wartiz, former Sydney boy in Kyle Shaw. More of a defensive option though. Denmead as well. Some problems off the bench last week, so both coaches keeping their powder dry on that front so far. Santos pops it back to Dorigo. Grimaldi. Victory trying to reassert their dominance.
Well, apart from that one chance, 5 yards out right in front, Grimaldi that put it over the bar. It's been slim pickings, hasn't it?
Simmons. Oh, is there a little tug there? Well, he's used all those years of experience there. Philip Zirais got a little bit of a tug, and down he went from Segreto. Just a bit of a sloppy one from the attacker there. Defender's always going to go down, aren't they, in that situation?
It wasn't discreet, was it? Just pulled the arm, dragged him around.
This is Santos once again shimmying past his man. That got a little nervy at the end there for APIA. Simmons and Kalatz. All's well, it ended well, but they'll have to defend. They will have to defend this set piece. So does Grimaldi look long? It would seem that is the only option now for all these men getting in the box. So Grimaldi's delivery, dangerous area. Kalatz came out. Was it convincing? And Dorigo back in towards Nduka. And it came off an APIA player. It may have been Caspers there. And in the end, the referee had spotted a free kick for it. a push in the back there from Nduka.
Just see there, Nduka, the double shove in the back. Quite easy for the referee to pick that one up.
So it looks as though Michael Conestabbo is going to come into the game. He's got the bib off. Obviously, Ortiz as well. Very close to coming on, I think, as well. I feel for them when you think of their season, one of the biggest matches of their season, and they're not feeling 100%. When you're under the weather and you've got a bit of the flu to contend with, usually the one place you want to be is in bed, but they're here tonight. No doubt with a bit of Panadol. Ready to rock and roll here in the Australia Cup. We'll see what impact they can have. Monch. Bayashi. And Simmons, who thought for a split second that he put APIA in front. Casper's nice back heel. This is beautiful from APIA. A lovely side to watch when they get into flow state. APIA. That time, link with Segreto. Could that be his final involvement? It might be the final involvement here for Franco Lino. It will be he that is withdrawn for Shillington.
Substitution for Melbourne Victory game off number 18.
The former Melbourne City man who's made the move across to Melbourne Victory. You might remember he was former Melbourne City ball boy. He's crossed the Derby divide to join Victory. I wonder if his family have also crossed that divide. Macca. Assume they were supporting City when he was at City.
Oh, it can divide families, can't it?
It can. As we heard from Eric in the halftime show, Melbourne Derby is not going to be far away when the new season kicks off. Derbies galore. And we're even going to get a derby before the A-League season starts, Macca. They call it the Eli Adams Derby, I think. 4 days before the A-League starts. Canberra-Saka against Newcastle Jets. There's an interesting one as Victory probe forward, and here's another corner. Who's going to find the chink in the armour first? Grimaldi again, plenty of shape on it, but no one at the fall.
Well, everyone's making the move to the front post. No one decided to go around the back. That's where the corners have been going.
It was a strange one. There was no APIA play there either, Macca. I know where you would have been. Just rolled on the ball there, Dorigo. Hasn't quite been as sharp tonight as he was against Western Sydney. And Kuta. And Segreto takes the back heel. And a little bit of fatigue. It's coming into play considering he hasn't played the whole season, as we mentioned in the first half. That 4-month window where he was not able to play. And now Shillington. Directed, pacey is Harry Shillington. Now he's trying to do the defensive work, Santos, with a nudge that earns the ire of the officials and the home fans here. And here comes the aforementioned Presley Ortiz. 19 goals in the NPL New South Wales this season, and it's Segreto who is replaced. He's put in a terrific shift. Former Mariners Academy product who, as I said, really has had a tough season with setbacks, not related to his physical fitness, but more to that transfer issue. So he gets a well-earned breather, and no doubt he'll have a big part to play on the weekend as APIA go in search of the NPL New South Wales Premiership. And they play Sydney United. And Ortiz, who scored a double on the weekend in that win over SD Raiders. And he got himself in some really good areas last week, Macca, against Sydney United. Just couldn't finish them off. So can he be a little more clinical here after some good form on the weekend?
Well, they're starting to knock the ball around a little bit more, aren't they, APIA? Feel like they got a little bit more field possession. They're starting to force the play a little bit. Still not really finding any way through. Got to give it to the Melbourne Victory defence. They've been very tight at the back. Davidson and Silas working together very well.
Oh, Stewart. Was that a little in and away there on Shillington? In the end, it comes to nothing. And Serra in the direction of Jelassic. You can see Gio Savares there, bottom of screen. He's up and about now. He's as vocal and as energised as we've seen him in this game so far. Just sensing maybe this is the opportunity for Victory to find that crucial opening goal. They found the opening goal against Western Sydney in extra time, only for Wanderers to find the equaliser just minutes later. Simmons. Initially blocked by Jelassic and Bayashi. Delhi. Ahead of Grimaldi. Jelassic. Grimaldi. Shillington bombing on down the left, but a sliding challenge from Caspers, and then Stewart. Well, he's conceded the free kick here. And Grimaldi is asking the question why it isn't a yellow card for Stewart, but the referee yet to go into his notebook today. Just see there, Stewart putting one in. Set piece discussion. Grimaldi and Santos. And it's a neat little interplay. Santos looking for the cutback. Nice little alternate free kick routine there from Victory. So we tick towards the final quarter hour. Both of these two sides headed for an additional half hour. as they were in the round of 16. Victory 4-0 winners over Kingborough in the round of 32. APIA 2-1 winners over Peninsula Power. Grimaldi. Isn't Duca put himself into a good area there at the back post, but the pass just didn't find him. Here they come again, Victory. Santos driving on. He's going to stop the ball from crossing the sideline right in front of his coach. Davidson, Jelassic. You can see how central APIA are here defensively. Victory trying to find some space on the edges. That's where they send it. Grimaldi's cross. Delhi. This is an awkward one here for Calats, but he wasn't even pressured at all, which was a surprise. Santos was in the vicinity.
Well, every time the ball's been put into the box, APIA numbers have been greater, haven't they? And probably shown more urgency. See the way that they clear the area. No real pressure, as you say, Benny, from Melbourne Victory to try and go and win the ball.
Is it unfair to say they should be pressuring the goalkeeper there, or are they basically just saying, oh, well, we can't anymore, it'll be a free kick if we give the goalkeeper a nudge?
Still go and give him a nudge, don't you?
Now there's a problem for APIA. This is Kuta who's gone down with a crash.
He's gone down holding his face. Just Sarah and Keegan Jelassic look nonplussed.
Still the referee. Well, actually, I was just thinking, I was saying he hasn't gone into his notebook. The only person to get a yellow card is David DePuzzo, the assistant for APIA Leichhardt. That's it for the non-award of that free kick right on the stroke of half-time. So it's been a match which has been played in very good spirits. Monge just lobs one over the top. And let's come off the arm, so handball is the call, and Sawyer, is he the man with the Midas touch? He was the man who broke the deadlock at Marconi in the round of 16 to put Victory ahead 1-0. He comes on for Santos.
Rodriguez replaced number 9 Harrison Sawyer. Coming off for APIA Leichhardt. Number 7 Jack Stewart.
So Connor Starboat is going to replace
number 8
Jack Stewart.
Connor Starboat.
He looks a little disappointed he's going off, Jack Stewart, but Connor Starboat, who was excellent in last week's match against Sydney United, benched tonight with the flu. So has he got about 12 minutes in the legs? Well, might be more than that. Ian Ortiz have been in the sick bay this week. Here is Leslie Ortiz. Turned over for Melbourne Victory. Here is the big man in Sawyer. To show his touch over the top.
Well, it looked like he was going to go for the big strike, but trying to show his softer side with a little subtle dink.
Well, the pitch didn't help there Freddie Casper's ball hit a little divot and really slowed up there. To be fair, Macro, I reckon the pitch could be in better shape than what it was last week for that APIA Sydney United match.
Not sure. I had a walk down there earlier.
Maybe it's the same. Here's Valadon. So Dorigo in the direction of Sawyer, nods it back towards Nduka. Well, he is the man. It's always dangerous when you're trying to defend and you've got a striker the height of Harry Sawyer. 195 centimetres tall, the former MacArthur Bull. And it's in his direction, it's Sawyer's header. And if they get more deliveries like that, you sense Melbourne Victory might well get this one done inside the 90. And Sawyer commits the foul now on Kuda.
Well, it was a good chance, wasn't it? It's a decent ball in for Sawyer. He just had to go back across the goal. It's Davidson who just drives forward and just puts it into that back post area. He needs to go down across the goal. I mean that to bounce away and up and away from Carts, but safely into the arms of the near post. No trouble.
Well, you regularly hear planes fly over the top here. Leichhardt Oval, flight path into Sydney Airport. Well, Victor will be trying to find the flight path to the tallest man on the field. And if they can hit it once or twice more, you reckon Sawyer has got the wherewithal to get them in front, but they need to get it into that situation, and errant passes like that don't help. Savarese and Durante encouraging their side here. Davidson, lovely ball right through the middle, but Grimaldi had it taken off his toes, and now APIA with a relieving free kick. Well, McAdeer's their winner inside the 90 here.
At the moment, I'm going to say no. The defence is are definitely on top, aren't they?
It's going to be another late night at Leichhardt, I reckon.
I tend to agree with you, Benny. Hasn't been too much happening in either penalty area. Just three shots on target for Melbourne Victory. One APIA Leichhardt. And it has been the battle of two stingy defences, really, hasn't it?
Well, there's a reason. APIA Leichhardt at the top of the NPL New South Wales. And Gio Sabarasa said as much pre-game. They are battled hardened. Played in some massive matches already this season. Dorigo, how well is this pass weighted? A long grass, and Sawyer goes sliding in to try and keep it inside. Cannot do so. Oh, Sawyer. He's pinched on the loose pass from Simmons. And he's made up for his error for the moment, but there's a corner on the way here for Victory.
Well, it was almost a catastrophe, wasn't it? He just changed his mind and almost handed it to Sawyer on a plate. He had Nduka square, unmarked. And you see the reaction here, and he totally redeems himself with the challenge there, because look at square around that 6-yard box, and Nduka He's just waiting for the ball.
Well, that could have been a disaster for the most experienced man on the field from an APIA perspective. This corner is in the direction of Zeros. And it may have hit the referee there, and it has. So that's an unfortunate one for Victory. Now APIA look as though they're going to the bench again. There it was. Striking Tom Dale. There's this Denmead, I think, coming to the sideline to get his final instructions from Franco Parisi. Denmead, who's scored a couple of times this season. Previously with Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. Davidson able to prevent the corner. Now Victory, can they move it quickly? Jelassic, they should be allowed to play advantage here. Now it's Harry Sawyer in Serra, busting forward. Sawyer just dwelled on the ball a little too long and a chance disappears.
Neat play from Melbourne Victory to open up the space. Harry Sawyer gets his head up and has a look. He sees the runners coming and he decides to take on Simmons himself, but the defender, this has been the story of the night, wins the moment.
Substitution for APIA Leichhardt going off number 19, Baby Monge. His replacement, number 30, Alex Denmead.
Alex Denmead. He comes on for Monge. Three changes down for APIA Leichhardt now.
Well, this doesn't look good. Harrison Shillington still hasn't got up from that last exchange.
Well, he's only just come onto the field as well for Franco Lino. So this will be a blow for Victory, not just on the injury front, but also the fact that they're going to have to use the substitution that they had initially planned. So just having a look, Macca. Might be more of a facial injury here for Shillington. Yeah, I think it's a bit of blood nose looking through the binoculars, and he should be right to go. They just copped the ball to the face.
Well, I don't think it would have been a real tactical problem for Melbourne Victory. See Davidson playing at centre back now. You've got Thomas Lockyer on the bench as well, so I don't think it would have disrupted them too much.
Well, the only issue is it's just one less set of fresh legs they can put out there. Shillington will be right. He'll be good to continue. And now we've got just over 2 minutes remaining in the 90. There'll be a little bit of stoppage time. Sawyer does well to hold the ball up. Now Jelassic, down he goes. Referee goes in the direction of APIA Leichhardt for the free kick. And Harry Sawyer pleads his case to the referee.
Well, he went down very theatrically. Let's have a look here as he shoves it off. Well, he just grabs him by the shirt and reefs him to the ground, doesn't he?
What about contact before, though? And this is the frustration Sawyer has. He's saying, well, he's all over me. I give him a tug and he goes down like a sack of spuds, and the free kick goes APIA's way. Oh, and now the referee's almost clobbered a Victory player in the head.
He's just
Almost a
poked,
swinging arm.
he's just poked him in the eye, hasn't
Did
he? Is it Valadon?
Valadon, yeah, he got him in the eye as he was awarding the free kick to APIA. And now the referee is just saying to Harry Sawyer that's enough. Well, last week, Macca, here at Leichhardt, the referee got nutmegged. Tonight, he's poked someone in the eye. Goodness gracious. So how much stoppage time have we got, Sam Kelly? We'll find out very, very soon from the fourth official. Sarah just has to get on his bike because he's put under some pressure. Bayashi. So here we go. Bit of frustration from the APIA fans as to where this throw's taken place. Sawyer has slipped over, and we've got 4 minutes. 4 minutes to win it. Otherwise, there will be another 30 minutes here at Leichhardt Oval. Sawyer in the scrap with Kuta. Ball's here for Caspers. Lovely footwork. Eddie Caspers wriggles free. He's got Connor Starbo. He keeps it rolling. And Victory able to intervene. As Denmead had an opportunity sitting there for him. Recycled by Fong. Denmead. Manages the pass through. He'll try to return it to Denmead, to Delhi. Delhi with the cross again. Nervy moments here for Melbourne Victory in the first minute of stoppage time. This will be a throw for APIA. You score here, and you pretty much are sealing a passage to the semi-finals. APIA have never been to the semi-finals of the Australia Cup. Knocked out in the quarterfinals the two previous times they've been this far by A-League opposition. Adelaide in 2018, the Mariners in 2021. They don't want history to repeat for the third time. They want to break new ground. Victory, well, they want to set the path to a third Australia Cup crown. And this may be the opportunity for them. Jelassic, he's got Nduka alongside. Still Jelassic, blocked at the first attempt. Now it's Grimaldi, and again it's blocked, this time by Caspers. Well, Eddie Caspers has saved APIA Leichhardt there. And APIA will get a free kick amid the frustration of Melbourne Victory that they haven't won it there.
Well, Keegan Jelassic, he weaved and he ducked and he went inside and out, and it came back to Grimaldi. Who's there? Eddie Caspers. He's been fantastic for APIA tonight. On the ball, he's been quality, and there he is at the last, making sure that it remains nil apiece.
Less than 90 seconds of stoppage time remaining. That is a tired pass. Simmons. Kids in the house. I'll have a late night on a school night. Sarah with the throw. Kuta. Space out to the right if they're good enough for APIA. And they'll have a free kick. How quickly do they want to take it? Or are they keen to go into extra time? They've got a busy schedule. I'm sure they're keen to get it done here and now. Kambayashi with the flick on. Connor Starbo has Ortiz in the middle. Connor Starbo Just got out-muscled there in the end. And this could be the final chance here for APIA. Just seconds remaining in stoppage time. Kuta, down he goes. Referee says free kick. So it will be all on this for APIA. No yellow card.
Despite the APIA Leichhardt and fans baying for a card, they feel that there's been 5 or 6 fouls in a row that starts to warrant.
Kambayashi in towards Simmons at that back post area. Spills out to Fong, and that will do us. A tight affair which really came to life in the second half. Chances at both ends. A Sean Simmons goal ruled out for offside. Grimaldi's chance right at the end, blocked by Eddie Caspers. Full time at the end of 90 minutes. APIA Leichhardt 0, Melbourne victory 0. Been the order of the day in the Australia Cup, especially in the latter rounds, especially in the round of 16. 5 out of those 8 going to a penalty shootout. Well, the quarterfinals have arrived. We got through one match in 90 minutes last night. Well, tonight it is extra time. Melbourne victory in APIA Leichhardt locked at 0-0 after 90 minutes underway. And APIA's busy schedule continues. As Nduka fires an early shot, which goes nowhere near the target. And yeah, APIA playing weekend and midweek, week in, week out at the moment. And they've got another one here going into extra time. And I tell you who's going to like the sound of that. Sydney United 58, because they need to win on the weekend against APIA to keep the premiership race alive. Where do you feel like the difference is going to lie here, Macca, in this extra time period, or do you think it could well be destined for penalty kicks?
Well, I think both keepers were heroes last week. They may well find that one of them will be again this week.
Well, to be fair, they haven't had to do a lot tonight, have they?
No, they haven't. So if it does go that far, they're going to have to be switched on. It's been pretty quiet on the goalkeeping front tonight.
Well, it was in extra time against Sydney United that Kalatz really came to the fore. Carried that through into the penalty shootout. There's the ball in. Handed away by Kishimoto. And Ortiz giving Shillingworth a real physical battle there. To Rigo, floating it in the direction of Sawyer. Getting a bit more time under his belt now, Harry. Scored in extra time against Western Sydney in the round of 16 for victory. Could he do so again here? It was his first goal since February, so big confidence booster that for Harry.
Well, I was told before the game that he actually scored a hat-trick in a pre-season friendly against a very, very young Caroline Springs towards the end of the game.
Yes, a 5-0 win. So yes, her first goal that against Western Sydney in a competitive game. I will preface that. And Jelassic slips it through. Has he got another one? Yes, he has. Harry Sawyer is loving the Australia Cup in 2026. He's got 2 in 2. He's got a new celebration and he's got victory in front on the road.
Well, we're just talking about his influence. The goals he's been scoring of late, and he steps up and delivers when needed. A couple of minutes into extra time, found himself in some space and he did the rest. Well, you can see him loitering at the back post area. He's looking for the cross, but they moved the ball well. Melbourne victory. Nice little pass. And that little slide pass ruled there. It's a first-time finish. Nothing Kalatz could do about that one. And we have our opening goal of the evening. 92 minutes in. Keegan Jelassic with the assist. And a tidy finish from big Harry Sawyer.
And now Denmead all of a sudden APIA Leichhardt for the equaliser. Duncan have just got a paw to it. Kambayashi swings it in. And it spills here for Fong, who scored on the weekend. And he's pushed that one across the face of goal. So APIA, they're not going to die wondering.
And now all of a sudden, APIA Leichhardt bench is telling them to stay up, press high. It was almost an easy, immediate retort from APIA. All across that 6-yard area. They have to really go for it now. You can see Jack Duncan look to play the ball long. Harry Sawyer, the target.
Well, here we go. This match is really coming to the boil now. Denmead in front of Ortiz. APIA fans saying there was a handball there from Nduka. Not spotted by the officials. A second here for victory would be worth its weight in gold, but Sawyer can't find the cross. We heard pre-match, Macca, from the Victory coaching staff. They said, we're happy with our attackers. We're happy with our, well, from a striking department, they're happy with their strikers. May have to go in search of an attacking midfielder if Juan Mata does not return to the club. And that's the reason why they're very happy with Nduka and Sawyer, that combination. It's worked well for them in the cup so far. Sawyer with another one today in extra time. Certainly mounting a case for potentially starting the way he's going. Delhi rolls it out in front of Denmead. And Harry Shillington held his ground well. Now it's all hands to the pump for Melbourne Victory. Skimmed the ball in towards Ortiz. Flag came up for offside regardless.
And this is the first time in the match that we haven't seen Melbourne Victory, when they get a free kick, just get the ball down and play. It's about game management now. There's another look on a reverse angle. Tidy finish from Harry Sawyer. Lovely little through ball from Keegan Jelassic. And as we're accustomed to with big Harry Sawyer, there's a celebration to go with it.
What is your score out of 10?
It's on the lower end for Harry, that one.
So Victory's record in extra time in the Australia Cup, and this includes the playoff matches, 3-3. 3 wins, 3 losses, so even split there. And for APIA, just the 2 occasions, and they've won them both. First one against Tigers FC, and the second against Sydney United last week. Denmead's cross to the stretching Delhi. And again, the flag comes up from the assistant. And Franz Delhi is saying, who, me? And the assistant saying, yep. Interesting, well, you've just seen it now, Harry Sawyer in conversation there with Gio Savarese. Interested to know what he was saying to him there. No doubt he's impressing his new boss. Savarese has been on the touchline for 2 matches now. Was watching the game in Tasmania, but not the official head coach on the night. So Sawyer's scored in both matches he's been in charge of now. Valadon, Grimaldi. Balling around. Valadon just getting a talking to. Free kick again. They're very frustrated, the APIA bench, aren't they? Asking what does it take to get a yellow card, but the referee's still not going to go to the pocket.
Well, there's just been a lot of niggly little fouls, hasn't there, from Victory? Nothing that you would say has been rash or going to hurt a player, but just the kind of little fouls that stop the flow, slow the play down.
And Bayashi sees Denmead with some space. Denmead brings it down well. Ortiz, down he goes. And the referee, who's been earning the ire of the APIA fans all evening, he's going to receive a few more boos after that decision. We'll get a closer look, see if there was much in it. And now the Ball over the top towards Sawyer. Kalatz comes out, does enough. Simmons thumps his boot through it. Well, was it a 50-50 wrestle between Ortiz and Davidson, I believe it was?
Well, I have to say, on first viewing, I didn't think it was a foul. I thought he went down rather easily. This will give us a better view here. It was a decent switch to the play. Denme did very well there. It's a bit difficult to see, isn't it? Maybe this angle will be a much better view for us. He sticks the leg out, doesn't he? Davidson out and around Ortiz. It's a tough one.
Well, it seems like in the Australia Cup, Macca, the bar has been high from referees for a penalty. Seen a number of incidents that we thought, oh, well, on another day could be a pen, but referees have erred on the side of caution on that front. Now, Denmead's down. You may be seeing him getting back to his feet now. Kishimoto into an area that was patrolled by Valadon. Now Grimaldi, can they get that second? Grimaldi unable to link with Jelassic, who was in the middle, and then no player in a victory shirt making that run at the back post.
It was a good opening again, just really not enough support. Jelassic unable to get into that 6-yard area.
Denme drives it across. Kenbayashi, will he catch up with it? He will. As this attack to continue. And Ortiz is outworked there. In Serra, he hasn't missed a beat. Victory are not rushing to take this throw. There's the youngsters on the bench for Gio Savarese. Wonder whether we will see them in the final minutes as they look to hang on to this 1-goal advantage. At this stage it will be APIA eliminated at the quarter-final stage for the third time. Their equal deepest run into the cup. Victory looking to make it through to the last 4 for the first time in a couple of years, making that final back in 2024 as this ball out in front to Ortiz and cannot bring it down and strike the volley on goal.
Well, I can tell you right now, if that had gone in, the Melbourne Victory bench would have been incensed. They were sure that there was a foul from Keegan Jelassic, and I must admit, I agree with him. It was a wonderful ball in behind after that. Just couldn't quite wrap the leg around it. Ortiz just causing a little bit of problems there, but there's been a few niggly little challenges that have gone in.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the yellow card. So Jack Duncan into the book for time wasting. There's an early one for him, so he'll have to be careful. There's Delhi and Dorigo, the two opposite numbers coming together. Simmons gets up. Stabbed over the top in the direction of Kenbayashi, so 2 minutes of additional time in this first half of extra time. Well, one player APIA are without tonight on their bench play that can add some spark is Rory Jordan, but they may not have to worry here because Ortiz, again, he's just shouldered off the ball there by Davidson. And Rory Jordan, the former MacArthur man, injured tonight, added some real spark off the bench last week against Sydney United, so big loss for Franco Parisi, especially heightened in this situation with the match going into extra time. Gio Savares there pointing to his watch, just asking how many more minutes to go. Fong, the direction of Ortiz. Grimaldi with the flick on. Sawyer to hold it up. And now Caspers buzzing around as he so often does. Oh, here we go. Torrigo and Conestabo. This is going to incite the crowd a little. Torrigo is really going in there, hacking away.
Well, we mentioned that this just started to get a little bit of niggle in the game. Torrigo there was really just flailing away at the player on the floor.
Well, there is halftime in extra time. Melbourne victory found the breakthrough in the first 15 minutes of extra time through Harry Sawyer. His second goal in as many Australia Cup matches after he scored the extra time goal against Western Sydney. The difference is this time around there's been no retort from the home team. Half time in extra time. APIA Leichhardt 0, Melbourne victory 1. And Daniel McBreen, you wouldn't back against APIA Leichhardt finding something in these final 15 minutes, but they're going to have to summon some serious strength because they've played a lot of football and they are a very tired bunch of boys.
Well, they certainly have. It's not without the realms of them scoring a goal in the final 15 minutes as we have a look at Melbourne victories. Decisive goals so far. Move the ball quickly and a little bit of space. Keegan Jelasic in that space around the edge of the box. That's a clinical finish from Harry Sawyer. I've been particularly impressed with Eddie Caspers for APIA in the games that I've seen him this season and tonight. He has been exceptional. 22 years of age. I think there should be A-League guys looking at him, the way he's been composed under pressure. But this is the moment. Talking about composure under pressure. A couple of minutes into the extra time, Harry Sawyer breaks the deadlock.
And that was immediately after Melbourne victory scored that opening goal. APIA Leichhardt with a couple of close shaves. Fong driving it across goal, but this was the big one. Denmead with the ball right in front of Ortiz. He just couldn't stretch onto it and bring this match back to 1 apiece. Who is the key here for APIA if they're going to get an equaliser?
Well, the simple place to look is up top, isn't it, with Ortiz? Their top goal scorer for the year. We know he's sick, but can he muster something? Can his teammates get him into a position where he can have an opportunity? He's been the deadly man for them all season. They need to get him in a goal-scoring opportunity.
Well, the flu is temporary. Being a hero lasts forever. And that is what Presley Ortiz, Michael Conestabo have in front of them here.
I'm just getting that written down so I can get that put on my front door, man, for inspiration every day.
What, when you've got the flu? When Gabby says, can you mow the lawn? Here comes Mikey Gosseini. And he's really impressed the Victory coaching staff, making the move across from Melbourne City. He's eligible for both Australia and Lebanon. Gosseini played 8 A-League matches, the Glen Ira youth product. So here is Connor Starbo with the shot. Maybe you heard what we were discussing a moment ago. He's earned a corner for APIA.
It's a really clever chest here, wasn't it? Over his player, inside onto the right foot. He's an intelligent footballer.
Well, this is as good chance as any of them here for APIA. Cooter in there, Simmons as well. It beats everyone. Just takes a nick off the head of Nduka.
Well, it's the story of the night from corners, isn't it? Everyone at the front post, ball to the back post. You just need that one player to just peel out and roll around.
Ortiz. Kambayashi scored that worldie last week. Opened things up against Sydney United. Simmons, Ortiz, and they're asking for the offside flag. Melbourne Victory not forthcoming, and another corner for APIA. So, will there be anyone at the back stick this time? Ortiz has gone to put the pressure on the goalkeeper. Simmons in there as well. And it does go deep, this time deeper even than the back post, and Cooter is left to chase down what looked to be a lost cause, but he's done well. Gifted back though to Victory. And APIA with a chance to recycle and go again. And it's launched up in the direction of Sawyer. Or Simmons. Beautifully cushioned first touch, but then he couldn't keep the action going. Jelassic. Neat move on Caspers, and then Simmons returned. And the referee said that was above board, but Simmons may be hurt here. Limping rather heavily on that left leg. Is he done here, the veteran defender? Cooter certainly isn't. He wants to take on all comers. And he delivers in the direction of Denmead. They continue the move. Can he fashion a cross here, Alex Denmead? Well, he can, just over the head of Insera. Kambayashi will keep the pressure on here. Cooter, good shape on the delivery in the direction of Ortiz. Caspers and Cooter sneaks it through. Kambayashi, Caspers, just the heavy touch at the wrong moment, and then goes in. And the referee, he's got the yellow card immediately out here. It was that classic example, wasn't it? Player takes a heavy touch, they slide in to make up for it, and it collected Sear Ice. And Caspers into the book.
Well, it's one of the rare bad touches he's had tonight, to be honest. Nice play again. Kambayashi in behind, and he realised as soon as he took his touch that it was just too heavy. As he tries to correct his mistake, he slides in and catches the foot of Zorais.
confirmation. Casper's into the book. And now we've got about 10 minutes remaining in extra time. There'll be a bit of stoppage time as well. APIA fans trying to lift their side with less than 10 to play. It's been a frustrating night for them so far. It's been a night of nearly moments. Goal ruled out for offside in the first half to Simmons. Now this ball falls for Nduka. And Kalatz with a few choice words on the way through to the Japanese striker. Caspers had 3 victory players. Bees to the honey pot there and managed to find a way through. Kuta versus Zerais. That's the German with the final touch.
He's been good tonight as well, hasn't he, the big German? He's covered everything that's come around him. Read the play well.
Yeah, Victory fans have liked the look of him so far. Scored on debut in Tasmania. And rock solid at the back. Conestabo. Ortiz! And Duncan has to push it away and then dive on the rebound.
Well, it's the 2 players that we thought would start tonight. Both suffering with flu, combining. Lovely little turn there. And then Starbo just fashions the space, and it's a decent strike. Hard and low. Jack Duncan gets down well.
Well, APIA are just feeling a little better about things at the moment. After that near chance, now Kuta's ball invites Duncan to come out and claim. Still, they've got more than enough time. APIA Leichhardt. Victory look as though they may be going to their bench again. Gio Savaressa having a conversation. Remembering they haven't used Tom Lockyer. Off the bench in Tasmania, missed the round of 16 tight. Against Western Sydney with a bit of tightness. I should say didn't come off the bench in Tasmania. He was on the bench, didn't come off it. So will that be the case again here, potentially? Kick over the top now from Delhi. Ortiz, he's got Conestabo in the middle, 10 metres well. Recalibrates here now through Delhi. Well, APIA Leichhardt, they've lost no admirers with this performance tonight. Is there another chance brewing here? Kuta just bobbled off the turf, so it made it really difficult to get any kind of accuracy on the cross. As Jelassic has a seat here. He's going to have to get back to his feet. Simmons wants to exploit that. Good shape, up it goes. Problems here for Victory. And very nearly a calamity there for Shillington, because Den Mead was unfortunate for him. He didn't know too much about it. And now Kuta, can he get there as well? Sliding in here. APIA fans, the bench is up and about. Referee says it was all above board, and there will be a goal kick at the end of all that for Melbourne Victory.
Well, Zerais has just gone and sat down. Another Melbourne Victory player in Nick and Jelassic sitting down on the floor. You've got Insera stretching his hamstring. They are really feeling the extra minutes, the Melbourne Victory players.
So we're going to see a Melbourne Victory debut here for Tom Lockyer, who captained Luton Town in their return to the Premier League in 2023-24. He's had a career which has spanned League One, League Two, the National League, the Championship, and the Premier League. He spent last season with Bristol Rovers in League Two. And he'll play first competitive minutes here since April. His last match was against Cheltenham on the 26th of April in League Two. And now he makes his Victory debut. And here's the yellow card for time wasting. His Victory trying to squeeze everything out. And Jack Michaelides, he comes into the game now. Made his senior debut in Tasmania against Kingborough. So what can this young midfielder deliver? And now there's a problem. Simmons surrounded, referee with a decision to make. Remembering there was an APIA player sent off against Sydney United. You can see what Insera is insinuating here. And I reckon they could have a problem here, APIA Leichhardt. The referee is taking his time. The assistant is standing on the field. And it could be a disappointing way for the night to end for one of their heroes of 2018. The referee is just going to go to the back pocket for a yellow card to Simmons. The Victory fans can't believe it.
Well, I'm with you, Ben. At first thought, I thought he's in trouble here. It looked like a dangerous challenge. You could see the reaction from the Melbourne Victory players. One and all, they came in protestation. Maybe a yellow card's right, yeah.
Yeah, first glance there, it doesn't look like anything worse than a yellow, but happy to be proven wrong if we get more definitive angles. It was just the way the referee was waiting, almost just receiving that clarification from the assistant fourth official. You thought, well, maybe the delay could be a problem for Simmons, but in the end it wasn't, and he remains on the field. And now Melbourne Victory with the free kick. Now there should be a fair bit of stoppage time, you'd reckon, here in the second half of extra time. Victory want to try and pin it down in the corner, knowing it would be a semi-final berth with Sydney FC, a big blue in the Australia Cup for the very first time. And they want to erase the demons of 2024 Victory. They went all the way to the final and were edged out by MacArthur in a really frustrating affair for them at Amy Park. Aaron Yarkalish goal the difference in a 1-0 win for the Bulls. Knowing the winner of that would play an NPL side in the final. An NPL side at the tail end of a massive season, so it really does whet the appetite for what is to come in the Australia Cup. So, final seconds of extra time. We will have some stoppage time. Sam Kelly is getting the board ready. APIA Leichhardt, they're running out of time if they want to keep themselves alive in the Australia Cup. It'd be a quarter-final exit for the third time if they cannot find an equaliser. So here comes the board, or does it? 3 minutes, and Michailidis is off here. The youngster, Michailidis with the step over, and it's blocked away by Kishimoto.
Well, he's done well defensively, Kishimoto there. Michailidis sent him one way, came back on the inside. I thought he was going to turn back on the outside again, but he's had a great game as well. The defender on the back foot, 1v1. See there, twist, and I just thought Michailidis was going to go back onto his left foot again. Decided on the strike.
Victory, because they're going to try and pin this down in the corner with Harry Sawyer, whose goal is the difference at this point. 1 minute of stoppage time has elapsed. And APIA need the ball at the other end of Leichhardt Overland quickly. And that's where Kalatz is going to try and send it now. Kishimoto. Well intercepted by Shillington. Gossaini. And Shillington pops it forward. Kishimoto with the header. Caspers is after it. Almost spilled there for victory. Here's a snapshot from outside the box, which ends up in the path of Kalatz there. Not a bad try from Gossaini. Victory have got some numbers forward. They can seal it here if they're good enough. One of their young teens could be the player to do it, but APIA Leichhardt, well, they've got to go long now. Time is rapidly running away for them. Oh, Simmons under pressure here. He just gets there. Opens it up here for APIA. Conestabo giving chase. Was he giving a little nudge there? Referee says he was. So APIA, with the final kick of the game, will have a free kick.
Well, I have no idea what Melbourne Victory can be arguing about there. From one end where it was centimetres away from an interception, it's a clear push in the back right there. You can't, I don't think there's anything to argue with on that decision. The referee's got it right, and there's a final chance for APIA Leichhardt.
Well, they didn't need the push in the back. The goalkeeper's getting up there. Well, they've got plenty of experience in their victory. Sear Rice, Davidson. Tom Lockyer as well. It's Denmead over the set piece. Short is the option. Denmead changes up the angle. Spills out here. And that should be enough for victory. Melbourne Victory march into the last four. And there is great frustration here for APIA Leichhardt. They pushed victory all the way, and in the end, in a really hard-fought contest, it was Harry Sawyer's goal 3 minutes into extra time, which is going to prove the difference. So a big blue in the semi-final for the first time in the Australia Cup, while for APIA, they are eliminated at the quarter-final stage for the third time. disappointment for the home fans and a lot of happiness for Melbourne Victory, and great respect between both coaches. Full time at the end of extra time, APIA Leichhardt 0, Melbourne Victory 1.